Man, I hate it when you forget to turn on the gas. Arrgh. So while I was down the road, I went down to the bolt shop to try and get a couple more of these, just brand new stainless steel long dome head nuts. But unfortunately, due to the fact this is a specialized thing, this is probably, they're made by Honda, so I wasn't able to get any. They just don't have any. They got the standard ones, similar to this, I guess, but the reason that one fits there is because that's as long as the stud needs to be, whereas this one here, I believe the tailpiece that sits on here from standard goes in there as well, so you need to make room for that. To fix the problem, you could do a couple of things. You could just get the standard dome head with a couple of washers and throw a couple of washers in there, or you could make yourself a spacer, which would look kind of neat, which is what I might do, or you could just cut your stud. Now, I don't want to cut this. The main reason is because once this bike is complete, if you're one of my newer subscribers, you probably don't know this, but this build was a challenge to see if I could do it under $1,200 and turn it into a Scrambler. And once it's complete, I'm taking it on an adventure. And part of me doing that is I'm going to mock up just a little bracket type thing that sits off here and goes across, just so that I can mount a bag on the back of it with all my camping gear. Just, I guess, like a little bit of a rack, if you can imagine. Maybe made out of round bar or something that goes around the seat, follows the shape of the seat, and then I guess just a couple of pieces of round bar just going across like a grill. So when I take this out on its little adventure, hopefully it makes it all the way with no problems. The friend of mine who gave me the challenge, he's coming with me. He'll probably be driving his car. He's also working on a cafe racer as well, a BMW, so he won't have that completed by the time this is done. But he's still going to come along and we're going to film the entire process and share it with you. So yeah, that's why I don't really want to cut these studs. That's a long-winded version of why I don't want to cut these, because I will actually need the extra length to mount that actual rack on the back. So what I'm about to do now is peel back some of this tape that's on the loom here, and just so that I can reveal the wires that where this comes from. The reason being is because I want to get it all the way back down to somewhere here above the carburetor, and then track it back down behind the backbone here, down past this bottle, and then underneath, just so that I can make a plate and I can use these existing nuts here and put some bolts through there, something that goes up and then across and then keys into here where the original X piece was for the exhaust. So I'm going to mount this little guy in here. What that'll do is that'll keep it away from up here and just keep this little area nice and neat. And also by taking these wires out of here is going to make this loom a little bit skinnier, and therefore I don't have to put as much wiring inside this box here. So the least I can put in this box the better, because it is going to be a damn tight fit for everything I need to get in there. So let's get this tape off. With tight little places like in there, you just can't get a ratchet, and that's when these things come in so handy, because you don't have to do this 300 times. These are just so useful for little tight spots like that. I mean, it doesn't look that tight, but if I try and get even the smallest of ratchets in there that I have with a 10mm, it wouldn't even get in there. Like, I just can't fit it. So if you haven't got a set of these guys, I would highly suggest investing in them, because they will save you so much time and you'll be grateful that you have them. Decided to cut this little tab off just purely because it's going to be a lot easier to fold those two sides without having this in the way, and then once it's done, then I'll just tack that in place just like that. So the reason I've added these two little tabs on the end is obviously to mount it. Also because my original design had changed and I wasn't originally going to mount it this way, but I think this is a better way of doing it. So I figured rather than refabricate the entire thing, I'll just cut two little tabs, drill holes in them, and then just tack them on for now, and then I'll weld them out when I'm done. Man, I hate it when you forget to turn on the gas. Arrgh. So there's been some really cool things that have happened recently for the channel, and stay tuned for those because I will share them as they happen. I do have a question for you, however, and it's in relation to this Scrambler build, Scrambler tracker build. And the question is, what are you waiting for that hasn't been done to this yet? What are you interested to see get done, or how I do it? Just leave me a comment down below, and whatever gets the most comments, that is what I'm going to do next. So don't forget to leave me a comment if you're interested in this build and you want to see something done. And another thing you may or may not have noticed is me getting a little bit woolly. This is probably as long as I've ever had facial hair, and I thought to myself I was going to originally just grow it and then get it shaped and see if I could deal with it, but I kind of think I just want to get rid of it. It's kind of like a winter coat, and winter's gone now, so time to go back to what I originally had. Thought I'd mention that because you probably have noticed it getting a bit longer in my recent videos, but it's time to go. It looks a bit messy. So anyway, enough about that. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.